down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Savvy investors, we're back in action. We just got off the investor breakfast and we talked about money. So today I feel that we need to talk more about money. And the reason as well is we did the private money with the mystery man, and I can't believe how much response I got from having you on the show, Mr. Mystery Man. Say hello.
Hello.
And this is an unscripted, I yanked this gentleman off the street to come in here. He's way more educated than me, and we are traveling down this private money lane road together. And it's been an interesting, overwhelming task to figure out private money, but I think it's worth the effort. So today we're going to talk roughly, off the cuff, randomly, credibility kit. I'm digging in and creating a credibility kit myself. Just so you know, I am super green. Mystery Man is super educated, and we are a dynamic duo trying to raise money for real estate investments and live the dream, and also provide information and returns for people out there. Just to give you a caveat there, I've only rented private money from 2 people, small amounts, but they were successful. And I am in the process of loaning out money myself out of my IRA because I feel like I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to take someone's money or teach something to someone, and I haven't done it myself. And we're going to try, Mystery Man, to talk about that today. Someone made a request for money in the process on that. So, without further ado, you just entered the Savvy Radio Show, private money. Okay, credibility kit. We're going to jump right into it. So, last time, Mystery Man came out of the office and started showing off his little 30-page credibility kit. I do appreciate all the folks out there that did text me, email me, and said, hey, they really enjoyed that podcast. You know what's so crazy about that, Mystery Man? I didn't think it went well.
I didn't either. But
I heard a lot of shuffling of papers. That's all I heard. And I started looking at your documents, and I was like, okay, But it's really interesting. Whatever I think, it's like dealing with a rock band. Their worst song is usually not usually their number one, but when you go in the studio and you try to cut a hit, I can't remember the terminology. It's been so long since I've been in that business. It never pans out. It's the random one that they hate. It's just fascinating. So we're going to keep on that train. Since it's working, we're going to just keep random going. So I was digging deep, reading a ton of credibility kits, especially yours. And there's some things the best thing that came to me, that Tanner Ward out there, another awesome up and coming wholesaler, Oklahoma City, he called a few banks. Did we talk about that last time? No, we didn't. He called a few banks. We're working on this credibility stuff for a whole group of us. Just said, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to go big. So Tanner and I are working on it, and I gave him a task: go find some real estate friendly banks, call as many banks, and bring back 3 banks that that loan on real estate investments and works with real estate investors. Well, Tanner went above and beyond, called a few banks, but he found a small town bank, middle of nowhere, about 2 hours away. Talking to that individual sparked a conversation. That banker said, hey, I'll write you a letter of reference. Ooh, a letter of reference. Think about it. We're talking about credibility. We're talking to a bank. We're trying to sidestep banks, not use banks. But we're asking people to loan us money, and they need to believe in us. They need to believe in what you're doing. And how can you do that? What about a reference letter from a bank?
Boom.
Think about it. So you're trying to talk to someone, and hey, I need you to. I'm trying to buy this commercial property, or I'm trying to buy a single family rental home. I want to fix it or hold it for a certain amount of time. I guarantee 8%. It's collateralized by an asset, and this is why you should loan me your money. And that really touched me. I mean, if I was loaning someone money and a bank that this guy already works with, and I'll even call and verify that. Just like I think you should do all due diligence. And man, so I went and already start talking to my bankers. Hey, I need a letter of recommendation. So what kind of credibility? Hopefully, right out the gate, we're going to hit it hard. If you're trying to raise money, you're new to the game, you've never done real estate investing before, but you're really successful at your banking, like you are on time all the time, you have a relationship with some banker, ask them to write a reference letter. You know, when I Googled it up, because I'm in the process of making my credibility kit, I found tons of ways to ask people to write every college grad needs a letter of recommendation. NBA students need letter. Listen, I regret that I should have started this a long time ago. I'm glad that I'm in the mix. I'm glad I'm doing this, and I hope that this is encouraging you. So we're going to go rep up some some credibility things objects, pieces of paper to increase your credibility. So here we go. First of all, letter from the bank. Number 2, if you're a licensed realtor, that has some clout. How about if you are a member of the BBB? I saw that. I read that some of these credibility kits I saw were like grasping for straws. But hey, somebody out there thinks BBB, Better Business Bureau, is legitimate, which I have other second thoughts, but still, a certificate, certificate from the Chamber of Commerce. Hey, you're a member of that. They may connect. Think about, when we're going to really dig into this, we're going to release a course on this, but you need to have multiple credibility kits designated from different types of people. The credibility kit that I send to a fellow investor like the Mystery Man is a totally different credibility kit from somebody else.
Absolutely.
All right, real life scenarios like settlement statements. Like you put HUDs in there. I never thought of that. I read that somewhere. I close on this deal. This was the profit. This is the beginning. This is the end. This is the contract. This is how I acquired the asset. Maybe some bullet points. Boom. Another thing, case studies. How many deals have you done in a certain amount of time? Same scenario. I actually tagged, I'm building my credibility kit right now, and I recommend you doing this in a spreadsheet. Google Drive sheets, but build it in a PowerPoint, because you're going to eventually give out hopefully you're going to host an event. Have you thought of that, Mystery Man?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then professional affiliations include certifications. So like if say you got your heat and air license, why not put that in there? Say you got a degree from somewhere, put that in there. Put all your education in there. And I saw a credibility kit, no lie, someone put their seminars on there. No, and courses that they follow through. I mean, maybe the SavvyInvestors.com.
Got a long list of those.
Yeah, but I mean, like for you, let's say today you are a member of the Investor Breakfast Oklahoma City. Yeah, we saw a coaching company in Oklahoma City give out certificates. I was like, okay, that's cool. Maybe I should start issuing. Hey, you can go issue. You can get fake degrees out there. Might as well get some sort of certification from a class that you attend. How about your local RIA? You're a member of the local RIA. When you started there, how long you've been there, the relationships. Definitely put other investors that you've done deals with. Fascinating. Didn't think of that either. So if you're out there struggling, I can't get in real estate. I got no money. I got no job. No one's going to loan me money. That's all BS. You got to think creatively. There's an aunt, an uncle. Someone is willing and believe in you. I believe in you. If you need funding, I have a very small IRA. I want to grow my business. You just never know. If we are friends, I'm not soliciting, but if we knew someone, if you came to an event or we bumped elbows somewhere, you never know. Here's something that I came up with yesterday that I was chit-chatting with someone, and that is an executive summary. I have some business experience before real estate.
Oh, yeah?
So, Mystery Man, what experiences or what things can you add to your credibility kit to get people all juiced up?
I have some business experience. If you have any management experience, if you have any retail experience, if you have any sales experience, if you have any cash management experience, because you're asking for cash, if you have any, like you said, sales, if you've sold a business.
Sure.
So a wide variety of things.
Yeah, I mean, just think about anything that you can put in there. So you don't have to necessarily do a deal, but you have the credibility in your, here's a story that I thought was just super incredible. A friend of mine raised $3.2 million for 108 property in Orange, Texas. I've known him. I met him at a Mr. Landlord conference. We became friends. He was struggling. He's a W-2 employee. At that time, you can only have 9 loans with FHA or 10 loans, and he had 10 loans, and he was trapped, and he couldn't grow anymore. So what he did is that he joined an association down in Houston called Lifestyles Unlimited, and they taught you how to syndicate money. Now, syndication is that basically I think you got to have an FCC attorney. Hopefully, I'm getting this right, folks. So I'm not perfect on this. This is secondhand, and I can definitely put you in contact with them. And actually, a friend of mine did. But basically, you went to this class, learned a bunch of stuff about it, got an FCC attorney, got another LLC, figured it all out, put out a media kit per se of now he can solicit per se through FCC, and I can't remember the terminology what's called. You got to file the guidelines, and within a few months he had 18 investors, and he had to turn some of them down that were willing to fund for this apartment building. So he raised $1.2 million of actual cash from actual investors. Then with that $1.2 million that he put down in Fannie Mae, loan $2.4 million or $2 million in unsecured.
Wow.
Because you're pulling this money, syndicating this money from other investors that they're some of those people. I called them because I'm all over this private money. I was like, did some of those investors loan out of their IRA for this project? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now those investors were equity partners. They weren't debt partners. So they were equity partners. So there's different types of private money out there. That's another thing that I learned going through this educational whirlwind, that you can borrow money just to borrow money, or you can partner with someone and have an equity partner. Of course, I think the ideal situation is just to have debt money. Basically, someone's loaning you the money and you're paying them back, but it's not too bad to have equity partners. So he has 11 or 12, I'm not really sure how many, but he has investors in a waiting list to loan him money. And so he just got this apartment building. He's been doing it for almost a year. He turned it from a C-class property close to a B property. It's all been rehabbed. He's 85%. Before it was like 60, and they're making money. And it's just fascinating. It's way above my education. I'm good at being a landlord. I'm good at certain things, but man, maybe one day I'll be syndicating money. And that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm doing this podcast. The more I talk about it, the more I teach about it, the more I learn about it, the more I loan it out, the more I borrow it, the more comfortable I would get, and so on and so forth. So one thing, though, while I'll have the mystery man back on here, that I loved out of all your 33 pages of bliss, you had an FAQ section in your credibility kit.
I did.
I thought that was really interesting. Tell me more about that, and how did that come about, and what questions were on there, and how'd you answer them?
Well, obviously you want to make sure that the person that you're trying to get the private money from is satisfied with where their money is going to be going, and how it's going to be used, what it's going to be used for, how they're going to be paid back, how long it's going to be before it's paid back, how it is secured, what's going to happen if the market collapses. A lot of general questions, and those are just basically presented to them in black and white with potential questions that they may have with the answer that goes along with that. Okay.
So you want to cover all bases, objections, I would say. What happens if you default? Do you put that in an FAQ? I guess you would answer that quickly. It's collateralized.
Absolutely.
And I would also have a statistic. Maybe, I've done this for so many years, I haven't defaulted. I don't know if that makes sense. As I get my credibility kit done, I might share it with the world and show them, be vulnerable in some form or fashion, but also be authentic. And, this is what I do. Anyway, here's another thing that I came across going through other people's credibility kits, reading, studying about private money, that you could have a credibility kit towards a seller. How about that?
Absolutely.
Have you thought of that? Flip it on. So, like, for example, I know right now, Mr. Mystery Man, you're out there hitting the pavement. Man, I love watching you on the phone, hearing you on the phone. I mean, I love you being in the office, grinding it out. This young lad here, crushing it, wanting to be, there's an Eric Thomas. You want success so bad. What is it? You can't breathe, or it's like a breath. And I see that in you.
I'm turning blue.
And, yeah, you're choking the F out. It's true. And so there's a lot. I mean, I wish I could accredit certain things because I've probably read 20 credibility kits. I've probably read 30 websites. But this guy came across that he has a credibility kit that he leaves in his car that he gives to sellers. And I'm like, I thought of you, Mystery Man, that you're out there getting deals, getting trumped by other people. They cancel appointments on you. They sell to other people. It's got to be frustrating. But what's a marketing thing is that you show up on a property, you walk around the property, you give them, hey, a legitimate cash offer, close quickly. But by the way, here's some information on me. This is why I do this all day long. This is my full-time job. Here's my before and after. And I guarantee, and I buy ugly house people out there, they're about to crush me. But I guarantee that's a lot of reasons why they're getting a lot of deals, because they have credibility. When people think that you're successful because you could spend and buy a 2,000 billboard, they see the billboard up there. I'm amazed too that people see I buy houses and willing to give your social security number over the phone. But think about it. You show up on the property, you have a nice polo shirt on with your logo on it.
Right.
And you reek success that, hey, I'm going to close this deal. So they may have another rookie wholesaler that drives up in an X amount of car and his zipper's not pulled up and he's stumbling over his words. Who are they going to go with? And as a marketer myself, and I love marketing, I love sales, leave them with a credibility kit. What do you think of that? Did that turn you on? You look kind of like stalemate there.
No, absolutely.
Get a little excited, brother. Oh, shit.
It's been a long morning, long night.
That's true.
Big event going on here.
Yeah. Mystery Man has been. He signed up on the work for free program.
Burning the candle both ends, as they say.
So Mystery Man over here worked all night, worked all day, and then he was here at the office at 6 a.m. and we hosted an investor breakfast, and that's all done. We just mopped the floor. It's 11, and we're like, hey, let's get on the radio.
There's enthusiasm. It's overflowing.
All right, out there, folks, listen, think about it. You might, if you're just a rookie wholesaler out there, you might want to get a 2-3 page brochure of sorts. And I don't have one. I've never seen one, but and I'm quoting from this, wherever I got this, is I keep a credibility kit in my car and carry it with me to seller appointments. I hand them the credibility kit while I'm looking at the house. I tell them to look through my credibility kit while I take a look around and answer any questions. The interesting thing, when I read that, I don't know if you've ever been sold before, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, when in Oklahoma, there's this thing called hailstorms, and there is roofers from Colorado, from Dallas. They're coming out of the cracks, right? They're like little rats. And I'll get a knock on the door. There'll be a guy with a logo and a 3-ring binder showing me before and after photos. It works. And I ask him, I go, hey, of course I GC everything. So I was like, hey, how many roofs have you locked up? He was like, 5 already. Now, the roofer that comes with the white business card, parks around the corner, how many did you get? None. How long you been out here? 2 hours. Yeah. It's the difference. Image is everything. So, recap. Here's some basics about your credibility kit. You may have listened to us last time. I kind of wrapped it off. So, here's some quick things that you kind of essentials that you need. You need to have a business statement. First of all, you need to have who you are and what you're doing. So let's just get that straight. You will talk a lot about yourself as an individual, but ultimately you are a business entity. You should borrow money as a business entity. You should loan money as a business entity. you're a business entity, and you need to have a business statement. You need to have a background of previous work experience that you've done. This is one thing I really love this. You need to have a transaction cash flow. What's the process? They get it under contract. You get it under contract. The money's funded. It goes to a title company. It's backed. I may pop out some kind of infographic on that. Have a spreadsheet of properties that you own and that you have owned, or you've sold them, and the profits. Don't be like super salesmen, like, I made $20,000 on this one and $5,000 on this one. Just be genuine, be casual. You don't have to point them out. Let them figure it out. The best way to sell is not selling, of just presenting and just, this is who I am. Let them come to their conclusions, and if they have questions, you solve them. Show them, of course, HUDs, before and after photos, clippings of yourself, credit profile, maybe even your credit score. That's a good idea. I don't know. And then also talk about the economy. Where's Oklahoma City going? Where's Denver going? Where's Dallas going? How many families are moving in here? Get this data from somewhere. Maybe go on the Chamber of Commerce website, print that page out. I mean, you literally can make a 50-page credibility kit. You should keep it concise and double check and ultimately have someone else read it.
That's what I did. Kept mine concise.
Yeah. So if you want me to review your credibility kit, we could swap out. You can email me. I will email you back. A simple email, the one that's off the top of my head, is allpromedia@gmail.com. That's ALLPROMEDIA, allpromedia@gmail.com. Send me your credibility kit. Let's be friends, and I'll shoot you mine back. And then, of course, I think you should definitely have a contact page. There are so many credibility kits that I saw, you will not believe this, Mystery Man, that didn't have phone numbers on there.
That's amazing.
Like, you should, I think you should almost have it every other page or every page or something to get a hold of you. I mean, I don't be overbearing, but definitely have the last page be like a picture of you if possible. I know I'm not real photogenic, but I saw so many successful credibility kits with pictures. People identify. Realtors, it's a common thing. Their face is on there, on their business card. I used to didn't like that, but it works.
They want to know who they're doing business with.
Yeah, I mean, and they're sad. There's a lot of racist people out there, a lot of judgmental people. It's true, and that's okay. In my world, money, blood. I mean, money. We're all blood. We're all red-blooded, right? Our blood is red. Everyone's blood is red, but money is green. And so, if you got a problem with that, you should not be in this game, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. So put your agenda to the side and go out there and make money. So another credibility kit idea too is put an attorney in there. Maybe someone that you've done a transaction with. That was one thing I got first, is an attorney letter. Of course, I have spent a lot of money with attorneys over. So when I asked them for a letter of reference, they wrote me one. I mean, I don't wonder if they're going to charge me for it, because every time I just mention calling an attorney, I'm like, it's $1.
It goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love looking at bills. It's like, I faxed you $5. I'm like, I received a fax, $5 per page. I mean,
I'm charging you.
When I used to negotiate contracts for rock bands, it was just ridiculous how, and I get it, that's how they make money. Time is money. So time is very limited. So that's why you should buy assets, or if you don't want to buy property and deal with landlords and deal with tenants, loan money out. And so hopefully, if you're a private lender or thinking about private lending, these are the things that you need to look for when you're considering loaning someone out. Our next podcast with Mystery Man coming up in, I don't know, a day or two, is that we're going to go over, someone actually sent me a request for money. So they called me. They asked if I could loan them money. Of course, I have a very small amount of money to loan, and it fits in their budget. It was very interesting how the conversation went, and, terms. And then I was like, okay, I've never done this before. What's my first step? Well, the first step you need to do, just so if you're thinking about lending Mystery Man some money or myself some money, you're going to contact your custodial, and you've got to request the money. You got to fill out a 1-page doc. And I spoke with them yesterday, my custodial, and she said that I need to have an agreement between me and the borrower. Thought that was very interesting. Because everything has to be documented. So for the custodial, for them to follow regulations, again, it's the Wild West out there in private money and custodial, but it makes sense. You know, there has to be an agreement. What's the terms? And we have to have a document between myself and the seller. Thought that was, basically a paper trail. And then so that individual that I'm loaning the money to, they just shot me an email of their scope of work and what they're doing. And so the next podcast coming up, hopefully maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, maybe Monday, I don't know. But we'll drop the heat on that, and we'll go over this individual's email, what they sent, what they said. We'll even read it live.
All right. I like the way this is progressing.
The more we teach, the more we learn, the more we make, the more you know. So if this has encouraged you in any way or fashion, spread the word, share this message out there, thesavvyradioshow.com. If you have a question that you need answered, I would love to, and I love the questions that you are emailing in. And we're collecting those questions right now, and we are going to answer them shortly in the next few weeks. Also coming up, I might have a private money guru come on the radio show and drop some knowledge. All right, Mystery Man, any last comments out there? You were quiet today.
You had a lot of good information to say. You've been researching. You've actually are doing it. You're doing what you're instructing. So you had some valuable information today. So I'm actually learning from the master today. So you actually jumped right out there.
I'm not the master. I'm trying to be. Okay, I like the comment. You stroked me. I like that. Everybody likes the confirmation. So let's call you out on the spot right here. It's 26 minutes in the podcast. We're going to do about another 2 minutes. What did you gain? Look through your notes. What stood out to you and why? What are some of the tips that stood out to you that you didn't think about that you're going to implement?
I like the statement that you made about getting the reference letter from the attorney. I had not thought about getting the letter from the attorney. I really like that. That stands out to me as far as something that I had not thought of. Hadn't thought about getting something even from peers, other investors that you're doing business with.
That's kind of sexy because you're leveraging their success. So, you have a letter of reference from me. A lot of people know that I do a lot of deals here, 200 something transactions. And you can leverage someone else's. Oh, you do business with. It's interesting when I introduced you as the mystery man, more people text me, is that blank on there? I mean, right there, automatic credibility, and that's the goal here. Here's some tips and tricks for you. I had a meeting with an attorney, and that attorney introduced me to somebody else. I love that quote. I don't know where I got it. I just read it not too long ago. It said, you are one relationship away of success.
Yes.
It's like Brian Tracy says, you're just one nugget away of the tumbler moving in the lock to set you free, to open the door to the same thing. And it's almost cliche, cheesy personal development, but you never know, Mystery Man. I'm honored that you're here, that you assist us and help us. How cool is it that, when you get to the empire that your goals are, that I was able to be a part of your success.
I appreciate this. This is one of those stepping stones in my path down that green, yellow, gold brick road.
Green, yellow. So is the yellow, is that gold or is that urine?
That is not urine.
Because you're pissing your pants all the way there. Anyway, well, if we really need your feedback, so we'll keep this subject rolling. Good, bad, the ugly. Let us know. Other than that, whatever you do, go buy assets, go bless somebody, take someone out to lunch, give somebody a hug.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at SavvyRadioShow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.